Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a Force Art Studios. This is the place where we level up our art and do fun stuff. So it's been a while since my last video upload. I apologize for that, but I promise to be more consistent from now on. So yeah, today I'll be sharing this study I did recently of this portrait. Yeah, and I'll be talking over it and I'll be sharing with you my thoughts, my process, and hopefully we can learn a thing or two from that. Okay, so let's jump right in. As usual, start off with a sketch. Although I didn't record the sketch, create a clipping mask. Clipping mask just means you're going to create a selection of the shape. We create a clipping mask to ensure that all we're painting stays within the shape that we want it to, so we don't have brush strokes flying everywhere. We definitely don't want that because it'll cost us more time in cleanup. Once your clipping mask is good enough, you go in and start adding your base, which for this is this color here. I'll explain in a bit why I chose this color as a base to not something bright or not something too dark, because this is what the character would look like without any form of light whatsoever if it was just a flat 2D drawing. Adding in the hair, adding in the eyes, color of the eyes anyway. You see, I'm not using white entirely, just using something off-white into blue. Do not use white, pure white for the eyes, except you know what you're doing, but I do not advise this because the eyes aren't pure white. They are not, unless whatever you're drawing is and you have to stick. So paying keen attention to your reference. Remember, reference is key, guys. Paint in the parts which need to be highlighted, and then the next step I'm going to do, which is new for me because I don't usually use this, is go to the blur tool and blur. You get, and it's not looking like the best thing, but it kind of works. So I'm airbrushing a lot, and I know in one of my videos I talked about airbrushing. I was like, people shouldn't use airbrush, or beginners shouldn't use airbrush, but hey, if you know what you're doing, any tool is capable of creating awesome art. After you're somewhat satisfied with your highlights, which is my case here, I went in and I started painting on a multiply layer, created a new layer, set mode to multiply, and then I started painting in some of the core shadows, ambient occlusion shadows here and there, just randomly creating form, paying attention to my reference, just creating. And then I went back. I was just switching forwards and back. This whole thing is just really about balancing your highlights and your shadows. As you can see, it's starting to slowly not look so ugly anymore. Remember when we first started, when everything was looking so airbrushy, no edges, nothing was defined. But slowly we're building up, shapes, we're building up readability, and gradually we're getting to the point where we can start adding those details. And I know a lot of people are going to ask me questions like, what brush do you use and what brush are you using? I'm really not using any fancy brushes. I'm just using the airbrush. Really, that's the only brush I'm using, and maybe somewhat of the soft round brush I used throughout this painting. So yeah, really, you can achieve a whole lot with Photoshop default brushes. The only brush I use at the end, which is one of texture brushes I acquired recently, is just adding those skin pores and all. Totally not necessary, but if you do need it, you can let me know in the comments. I'll link you all to the brush. So yeah, at this point you can see that I'm satisfied with my base already. Like, I have my core shadows, I have my highlights going for me, so now I can actually now zoom in finally and adding those details, those things that make the artwork pop and make it special. So yeah, so I'm working on the eyes. There's no particular order, just wherever you want to start working on, but I just like to really focus on the eyes first because that's like where we look as human beings first. So yeah, I'm just painting, detailing. Something for you to notice, I see this in a lot of artworks, and you can see that I'm actually introducing different kinds of view variations into my sketch here. As you can see, my highlights are not. I see a lot of artworks like that where you have brown, you have just one hue. You have brown. If it's brown, it's going to be brown to black, brown to light brown, or even sometimes orange, and that's good. But if you observe real life, colors don't really work that way, because there are different kinds of light influencing the object. And here we have cool highlights versus warm shadows. We want to always contrast the two, whether it's cool shadows and warm highlights, however it is. Just make sure there's contrast. It just makes your piece, a lot more interesting, more engaging, so we don't have something that looks so blah, you get. So yeah, that's it. This painting was done roughly around 90 minutes thereabouts for the entire painting. It's a sketch, and now that I've put it up, I see a couple of errors here and there, but hey, it works. It works for this purpose, and I hope you learned a thing or two from this video. That's it. Just enjoy the rest of the speed paint, and till my next upload. Till next time, peace.